Hey everyone, how's it going? I thought we'd title it something a little bit different. It's a little mini celebration for the channel. Let me know how your trading's been. We'll quickly run through treasuries. It's been actually quite a volatile day, to be honest, in the treasury market. Pablo, how's it going? How's it going, buddy boy? I'm waiting for a few people to join before I start crying with my gratitude. Yeah, you're first, dude. First comment, which is great. We had quite a volatile day in treasuries, actually. We went extremely bid pre-market. Then retail sales come in a little bit less than expected. We then sold off, but to be perfectly honest with you, that was just a pullback. So I was basically bidding the tens all session. How would I say I traded? I mean, I made 8 ticks today, so good session. But I just made a note where I could have executed them a little bit better. But to be honest, can't complain. Can't complain. Knockout, how's it going, Trader Boy? How's it going? As you guys know, when the algo turns on, I'm done for the day. This is the most aggressive range setting algorithm ever. The 5-year was basically probing lows earlier, but didn't really make much sense for us to continue lower, considering it's now 100% bet probability that we're cutting in September. Nicely done, Pablo, that's no problem. Yeah, there are people in that Discord in there are pretty salty, to be honest. But hey, just the way it is. Tony boy, how's it going? What is occurring? Yeah, so pretty straightforward day in treasuries. Let's go to the so this is Tuesday, right? Yeah. This was yesterday's day, not a really volatile day yesterday, but we went, look how bid we went pre-market. Then this is when market open happened at 8:30 US time or Eastern time, I think. We'll call it New York time. Then we had a big sell-off. I was basically buying down here, and then just looking to take. I think I did the same trade 3 times because I just did not think that we were not going to be filling out this, to be honest, this session. And my reason being was the yields are going to be going down, considering now we're 100% chance that the Fed is cutting in September, and we're now on for a potential 3 cuts this year. So I'm really only looking to be buying notes and bonds. So yeah, 8 tickaroos to end the day. Rob, how's it going, buddy boy? Yeah, Treasuries has been quite a volatile day today, to be honest. Just a shame that I don't really trade pre-market. The market had already moved too much, or I would have been going with that, because obviously the way the Fed is pricing in their cuts at the minute, like you don't want to be selling notes and bonds right now. Like you just don't. So I was ultimately waiting for a pullback. We got a pullback with the weaker than expected retail sales. But as you guys know, the market's just going to shrug that off, right? So we dumped and then we were basically buying, we were buying sort of 2s, 2.5s, and I think I was even buying 4s. And I literally just took it back to the VWAP to roughly 6s. and I basically recycled the trade a number of times because we consolidated round here for. In fact, let me jump on to here. So the data came out. This is the 10s. We've just got a very straightforward weekly profile, volume profile here. And these are basically standard deviation bands that you see. I know no longer bands, I have them as lines because it annoyed the shit out of me that there was these constant weird bands that were sort of taking up the chart. So we pulled back to here, and this yellow line I have drawn is literally the high from here. So we pulled back, and then we were buying here. The market was, this is a 30-minute chart, so the market was down here for like 2-3 hours, so that's how I was recycling the positions. I did think we were going to go higher, but you know what treasuries are like, it takes forever to do a move, so the fact I just recycled the trades, I was then done. Yeah, so that was it. That was really it. As you can see though, the amount of selling and absorption down here, right, there was extremely negative delta come in that was basically absorbed. So that's pretty much the sesh. It's pretty much the sesh today. I would say that if this went quicker, I was expecting, if I'm honest, let me zoom in a little bit here. So I was buying this just as it came out, so I was buying here. This happened, this 30-minute candle, and I was like, this is great. So I took like 3-4 ticks out of this candle. Market came back down. I was then buying again, and then we faffed around for a while, around here for like an hour. When if this came down and we just lifted the offer and continued to reload the bids to do this quicker, because I'm not holding bond trades for like 2 hours. It's just not happening, me personally. I want to see them come down here, reload. They've tried to hit into the bid. We see this absorption happening here with Delta. It's actually quite a good example as well from the Delta video we carried out. And then I would like to see this sort of action a bit quicker, because when that happens on those days, those are the days that I get like 9-10 tick winners, to be honest. Otherwise I'm just 3-4 ticks. 4 ticks is a good trade, typically 3. And if I'm filled here at a good price, and it goes up 3 ticks and it goes back, I'm not holding. I'm just going to get out for 1 or 2 ticks, for example, because on treasuries, because the tick to commission ratio is that good, it's more advantageous just to recycle the trades, in my opinion. So anyways, enough about treasuries. You guys will be bored to tears, so let's open the ladders. So I want to, now there's a number of you peeps on, I just want to show my gratitude and thank you very much for the channel getting to 1k. It's probably the first milestone that every channel has, so I'm going to get all soppy and say if it wasn't for everyone here, that wouldn't be possible. So thank you very much. This is far too, this volume profile, I managed to fix it, but it's still far too, it's triggering me. So that should be set at 100, it should be down to 50. There we go. Now let me quickly save that because I'll forget. So sorry about that, I was distracted. Knockout, no problem, dude. I'm glad. This is the thing. The objective of the channel was, from zero, when you put your first video out, it's actually been quite quick, to be honest. I think we've really been doing this now for 2 to 3 months. And what's quite interesting is when you first start this and you put the videos out, and the Discord as well. The Discord has grown leaps and bounds. We've got a great community now. And really knowledgeable traders across the boards, which is great, across different asset classes as well. So we've got people trading OrderFlow now with oil, people trading Eurex as well, which I'm definitely going to dab my toes in some Euro stocks at some point in time, just depending on my schedule changes and how treasuries continue on. But since I've made a transition most now to treasuries, it's it's just, I know it's a really slow product, but it's really not stressful, to be honest with you. Um, but we've got a great community, which I'm really proud of, to be honest. So I'm gonna get all soppy on you guys. Alessandro, thank you. Yeah, no, I really appreciate it, guys. It's, I mean, at the end of the day, if you guys didn't continue to show up and and listen to me ramble, I wouldn't be where I am. So in the YouTube streets, so much appreciated for sure. And I want us to to always keep the same theme of the channel going, right? I never want us to change, to be fair. So keep it always the same in here. We're not going to start shilling every prop firm in the world, you know. Pig, exactly, did exactly. So you get gilts in the UK, and then the Europe is pretty much done by Boond, Bobble, and Shats. We've got Robin here is a we call him, he's the Mr. OrderFlow community's flipper. Yeah, so he mainly trades Eurex, I think. And then I predominantly, I sometimes trade ES, but you guys, I must say this daily on the stream, it's just not as smooth as it used to be. Wow, this is balanced, huh? I can definitely feel I can feel some sweeps of highs and lows coming in. Tell my grandma to sub. Ryan, no problem. No problem, dude. Yeah, I appreciate everyone is recommending the channel and stuff. And to be honest, I've not really even created any other socials for the channel. Um, because it's quite a lot to upkeep Discords and do everything along those lines. Peg, the reason to be honest is just typically with order flow, um, it's just easier on a thicker book. That's the reason behind it. If we were 400-500 at each price on ES right now, I would be trading that. But I just don't like how the bid and offer is pulled so much, and absorption happens over more ticks. So that's the reason why I'm gravitate to a more thicker book, because I feel the order flow is easier to read. It's just what you come conditioned to, right? If you start trading and this is what you're used to, then by all means. But the one thing is when the VIX is low, and you have the market doing this behavior, yes, it'll go up 5-6 ticks, pull back. You're not getting these painless trades a lot where you're going 10-15 ticks a lot. You need to really time it at the exact right point of the session, which sadly never happens. You'll probably be away at the screen or something. Oh, Rob, are you talking about the last question? It's not yet done. I don't know how many results are in. I'll try and um, I'm trying to come up with these sort of questions. To be honest, now that there's a big community or bigger community on YouTube, to try and get questions, and surprisingly enough, right? I put these questions out on an extremely neutral basis. And what the one of the most damning results was the fact with prop firms that um, people who are not even funded, but the three most common was people that they're not funded at all, or when they're funded they can't keep an account more than 3 months. And it just goes to show you. Berry boy, thank you very much for the super chat. We need to get used to this. Everyone give a little. I need to get emojis and stuff done for the chat as well. I think I might go to my graphic designer and get her to sort that, to be honest. And we'll try and now that we've got 1K and this has got some legs, and it's going to be a longer term project. I want to try and improve the brand and stuff as well. So, but everyone give a big shout out to Ben. Much appreciated, dude. But yeah, what I was saying there, sorry, was the majority of people, the evidence is damning from a neutral poll that people are not funded or they cannot keep an account more than 3 months. And it's not a coincidence that a lot of prop firms have that 3 month goal until you can withdraw all the money from them. Which I think is quite, it's not a coincidence, right? That's why they have these numbers in there. So, but yeah, I'll need to get some more data on that one, Rob. The consistency side of things, how long it's taken people to become consistent in their trading. Sorry, Peg, what do you mean if you could get a lot of members from... Pig, no. I mean, if I'm perfectly honest with you, being completely blunt, the prop firm model, if they're not putting people into live environments, right? I'm going to be completely blunt. If they're not putting people in a live environment, it's a Ponzi scheme. That literally their model is a Ponzi. I'm being completely blunt. If you don't stop the winning traders from taking money, because they don't go down as winning traders in your books, they literally go down as an expense, right? That's a liability on their books. It's an outgoing. So if they don't stop the bleeding from that and put them into a live environment, they're only making money from the losing traders. So they're losing, this is why the prop firms need to put you into a live environment. So if the prop firm doesn't have a live environment solution, then it's the case. But then, honestly, by the time you go in a live environment, why would you trade with them anyway? Because I'm basically about to be finito with one of the prop firms that I trade, because they're about to put me in a live environment, and I don't want to trade professionally for a prop firm where we discussed this in the previous stream. But all they're basically doing, I'm going to keep it real. All they're doing is transferring you to a live account with the money that you've already made, right? And then you just need to pay pro rata fees and they take a cut. I mean, why do you not just take the money and trade yourself? I don't understand that part. At the end of the day, I want to see them as a way where if I'm trading for a prop firm in a live environment, unless they're giving me significant capital to trade, right? And I would be happy to accept that in like a 50-50 rev share. But I would want them to put up the risk, really, and it's a completely different agreement, and you'd want better commissions. You should have a seat and so on and so forth. So your commissions are rock bottom. That's the whole point of a firm. Better comms, you take away some of the risk. So these online prop firms are kind of there, but not really. They're just glorified education companies. That's what their SIC or MCC code will be, most likely. It's not going to be a in the financial services. I don't think it's going to be down as entertainment and education or something. Ah, Lou, see, yeah. Well, that's exactly it. There's definitely, I mean, there's pros and cons to both, right? The only thing I would say is for people that are not profitable, it makes sense to go to a prop firm where you're kind of getting a bit of skin in the game. Because if you can't trade a prop firm account, you can't trade your own account, right? Exactly, knockout. Yeah, yeah. So I think the some of the accounts where a lot of them are doing now are copy trading. Um, it's just a bit of a weird one, to be honest. I feel I can tell you one thing: if Apex goes under, right, and again I'm going to keep it real. If Apex goes under, and tons of people, there's any sort of class action lawsuits or anything that are put in place for that, there's going to be a bit more regulation, and any sort of regulators are going to be having a little bit more look at the futures prop space. Put it that way. And I think if any of them are to go under, it's most likely to be that firm. So what do we think for today's session? Have you guys been following any of the earnings reports? In fact, Pig, you're an equities dude. Have you been following any of the earnings reports for any of the investment banks that have come out this week? Some of the guys who we're actually competing against right now in the depth of market have had their earnings calls this week. So some of the quants and head traders in there have got their juicy bonuses, I'd imagine. So we'll see what happens here now. Completely balanced day so far. We're just essentially, dancing around POC and do you guys see how the initial balance high, initial balance low now is how we're in between that and how that can be used for a discovery day or whatever? It's nice to see it when you've got those extended days versus days like now as to what my reasoning was for using that as fading rules, right? Peg, I would say the reason a lot of people do that is because a sim, it's just not the same. I mean, if you can trade sim and execute it like it's real money, then more power to you. But I know from feedback from people that you have to feel that you've got a little bit of skin in the game. And to be honest with you, if you're going to go with a small account and you're trading micros, um, you really need to be taking a bigger chunk of the market because the commission structure is terrible with micros. Like, I like how that was such a great idea for them to put that in and stuff. But the CME is making a fortune on them. Well, the one thing I would say about Sim, and I suppose it is slightly better nowadays, but when it's fine if you're taking bigger chunks out the market, right? If that's the case, then no problem with Sim, right? But if you're depth of market scalping with Sim, it's kind of a false economy because um, the fills are not the same, so It'll give you an estimated Q position. But I've even seen it in some of the prop accounts that I've traded, where in treasuries, right, it'll say I'm like estimated 3k to get filled on the limit, right, and then price will trade in, only 100 will trade and I'll be filled, and I'm like, right, there's not been 3,000 pulled from that price. Do you know what I mean? So that's one of the things to take into account. Whereas, because on thicker books, Q position is extremely important. Oh, Lulu, you passed the first Apex one. Nice. There's me bashing them. Make sure and control your wrist, dude. If you're using RTrader, go and set your stops, because I know that if you have a bad day, they allow you to lose the full account in one go. So you need to have a cutoff point. Have I ever tried Jigsaw Day Trader? No. So I've been a Sierra dude for a long time. If I hadn't been with Sierra for so long, I would be using Jigsaw. And TT, ever since Jigsaw came out, TT's been kind of, in the back seat. They're really in the sort of, they're going for more corporate clients or institutions, and their APIs with order routing is probably the best. So they're pricing retail out the market now. And I think, as we discussed before, I think it was Rob that brought that up, that the inside prints are not a thing on there. So, believe it or not, that was the only go-to platform many years ago, but they're not as good as Jigsaw and Sierra anymore. But really, to be honest with you, Alessandro, you're not considering where the space is at, in my opinion, for depth of market, it's never been better for retail. Like Sierra and Jigsaw for day trader are fantastic tools. And also, if you're a native Mac dude, you can use like MotiveWave is pretty good. You've got Bookmap and so on as well. I mean, there's loads of other platforms. I'm not a major fan of their heat map thing, but more power to people that find it there. I think that for me, I've just been a raw DOM trader now for a long time, so, and I feel that a lot of these other new swanky tools that have came out are just different ways to look at a depth of market. But hey, if that resonates more with you, then by all means, at the end of the day, we're all trying to get to the same spot here and be able to consistently take money at the market. Some people it takes longer than others. I would say there's the way that I've got this set up. There's a couple of features that are missing from actually Sierra working on it. There's a few features like momentum tails. That's not on Sierra. It's such a simple feature that I would love them to add. That would be a text column. And if you've watched my recent video, well, I don't know if it's that. If you watch one of the recent videos, there's a few issues I have with the DOM on Sierra. When you go to lay an order, it covers the volume profile, which is kind of triggering. It's not really a big deal, but it kind of triggers me ever so slightly. So you can go into Sierra and you can make it basically small position limits and take away a lot of the fluff that's in with an order type. But so when it's treasuries, I want to know my Q position, or at least estimated. But on equities, you don't need it, because if you go to get filled at twos here, you're going to get filled, right? Wow, that's crazy, Rob. Hey Declan, how's it going, dudes? Yeah, I think Jigsaw. if I was to do it all again, right? Um, I would probably look at Jigsaw, but to be honest with you, Sierra is, there's no upfront costs, and it's like $100 a month tops for the full package, and that's full MBO for the full CME as well. So it's not too expensive, if I'm honest. And they don't have any other fees as well, and they have some good connectivity platforms that they connect into. But the one thing I would say about Sierra is it's massively built. It's built by developers. They've done no marketing. They just let the platform speak for itself, to be honest. They could really do with probably, I don't know, get someone in for marketing, redo their website, something along those lines. But that's how you can tell it's run by developers. It's a very developer thing. Peg, no, I'm not. I'm not at all concerned with execution times. Not at all. Realistically, unless I'm next door to the exchange, my latency is never going to be that great anyway. Like, we're never going to be able to compete with algorithms anyway, regardless of what platform you're using. That's just never going to happen. Like, these guys spend millions of pounds a year to literally be next to exchanges to get a fraction of a second quicker. We're in different countries. It's just never going to happen. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what platform you're with, in my opinion, as long as the platform doesn't lag. Because that's, and I know there's a lot of platforms that lag out there. You just need reliability and a platform that has good order flow tools. That's pretty much it. Yeah, exactly. So I will never enter on limit, if I'm honest. I never pay up in treasuries. I don't really pay up in equities either, to be honest. I'd rather name a price and get filled, and I would rather miss out on a trade than chase it and then just FOMO in, and then you end up getting filled anyway. I've been caught out too many times over the years doing that I would rather miss a trade than jump in and get a bad fill, to be honest. Lulu, you do, dude, yeah. By the way, just so you guys are aware, I'm not affiliated with Sierra. It's not like I'm paid to see any of this. I kind of wish I was, to be honest, because it's a great platform. I use it all the time. They don't even have a. They don't even have a. They don't even have a like a program or like an affiliate program or anything like that. They don't have any of that. Typical Sierra, to be honest. So I'm just saying it out of my own experience. It's a very, very reliable platform. Why do I use full session? So I use the full session for the current. Actually, now I see that, that's not quite correct, is it? Okay, I'll need to have a look into that. So in essence, for the current day, I normally split out the profile, right? There, it's disappeared now. Right, thank goodness. Okay, do you see how that disappeared? Right. So I have full I have the full TPO for the current day's session because I want to know where the overnight high and overnight low is. Okay, and where the volume was transacted as well here. So I break this down. Where was the evening session POC? Where was the high and where was the low? But when it goes past that day, I then just have the regular trading hours. So you can see here, this is just the RTH hours. So it's only for the current session. So once this goes to tomorrow, this will leave, or it will be removed. Does that make sense? Sarah does weird things like that. Like yesterday, it took away my NQ profile, for example, which is strange. To be fair, I just had to restart the damn platform, but it's not the point. And then like there, it wasn't until I split profile that went away. It's all these little small things. But that's pretty much the deal, Roger. I like to see where the overnight high and low is, just where the volume was carried out. I don't put that much significance on it, but it's still a bearing, right? So Neil, I actually had watched that. So funnily enough, I went and watched his other videos after that, dude, and it didn't make any sense. I'm almost leaning towards I hope the guy's trolling. Because the part where he was like, when I blow an account, I go and bash one out. I'm like, surely not, man. Can you imagine having a bad trading day? I'm not going to go into that. Do you know what I mean? Try and keep it. But in general, my setup of that is this is very, very common, right? And if he is being completely truthful about it and it's not just a joke, which I don't think it is, sadly, that's a harsh reality of what trading is actually like when people don't admit it. That's the trouble. And the trouble is people are getting into this and they see stuff on YouTube and they don't actually have an edge. Like seriously. Can you say over a significant sample size that hundreds of trades that you consistently can take something out of the market? These guys have not done that, and yet they're risking money. This is not a gamble. If you want to go and put money on, Arsenal to beat Liverpool or something, do you know what I mean? Or go to roulette if you want to gamble. These guys would actually have better odds going to roulette and putting it on black. Seriously. Sabona shouldn't be surprised. But I don't know. That was the one part. If you didn't include that, I'd find it a bit weird. And who in their right mind would take 400% APR loans to trade? I mean, that's it's ridiculous. It's just so crazy that it makes me think it's not true. You can't be that stupid, right? I'm being pretty harsh there, but it's true. Yeah, exactly. Maku, I mean that's the thing. It's crazy. This is like I was saying this in a text the other day that trading, you're competing against some of the smartest people in the world, right? Seriously. They're going to Harvard and MIT, some of the best universities in the world, and getting the top guys that are in maths and computer science to build statistical edges for them over shit tons of data, right? And just to top off as well, they'll be buying OrderFlow as well. So for specific algorithms that will be running, they'll know within a split second what order flow is coming in that gives them that advantage. So it's crazy to think, and I'm being relatively blunt. Unless you've got a statistical edge and something proven over time, it's hard to think that people are like, you know, a trend line break or ICT concepts or whatever the case is. Unless someone can show me an ICT concept with a fair value gap over hundreds of trades with an edge, rather than just going on a winning streak that happens with a coin toss. If you toss a coin for long enough, you're bound to get heads 5 times in a row, right? That doesn't mean there's an edge. Well, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. And we're here to we don't keep it real here, man. We're not here to make everyone sound this is easy. This is one of the most difficult. This is harder than poker, to be honest with you, right? I've played poker, and it's this I've played it a lot, both online and live, right? And that's another one where there is an edge, but again, you're basically taking advantage of people. Trading is very much the same, just because you don't see the people anymore, but the foundations of it were built on seeing people and taking advantage of them. Um, and when the market conditions are not great, you don't trade. And in poker, as an example, when you sit down with other people that understand game theory, optimal strategies, they understand how to play the game, or they're extremely tight players that you cannot take enough money off of, you don't play, right? Same reason where the market is in complete chop, or even it's in right now, you don't play, right? You want to see how the market reacts when we get up to potentially here, where we sweep, or we sweep the previous day high, as an example, right? And you need to have done that over a period of time to know that there's going to be an edge. Because this is not gambling. You get paid to wait in trading. That's the thing. So let me know if you guys have got any other questions. What do we think is going to end for the session here? Because this NQ is dumping right now, so you must be see some size coming into the Tekaroos. This is actually quite a bit out of whack here. And you think if NQ continues to go down here, this needs to pull back. And you guys need to think some ideas about the membership program on YouTube. I don't know if there's anything we can do. I don't really want to alienate people and do like member only videos and stuff. I don't really want to do that. So let me know people's feedback if there's anything, ideas we could potentially do to bring extra value to members or something. Thanks, Neil. I appreciate that, dude. It's actually been pretty quick, to be honest, which I'm pleased about. But we've been pretty consistent, to be honest, and just our upload schedule and live frequencies and stuff. So, and this is not your normal channel, is it? Right? It's different. I like to think so, anyways. It's hard to explain, but I like to think it's a bit different. Zero interesting order flow right now. We're seeing some selling come in here, but it's just been absorbed right now. See if we are going to probe higher. We need NQ to pump up to like 42s. Yeah, exactly, Alessandro. I think I'll need to do something. Need to do something like that. It's kind of hard to do with treasuries, to be honest, because it's only 3 and 4 ticks a lot of the time. But very generally, my trade plan is around either an extension or a mean reversion, and then it's very much around what's the sentiment, how is the curve that day, because the curve is inverse to bonds and notes, what data's coming out, you know, and some other statistical stats. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Rob. That's the thing. I mean, I'm very quick to cut, to be honest. If I'm up 3 and I don't get 4, I'm cutting at 1 and 2. It's never turning into a loser. It just doesn't happen. I stopped that many years ago. And the reason why you can do that is because the tick to commission ratio is so good, especially on the 30 year. Not as great on the 10s, but the 10s, to be honest with you, because it's such a thick product, you know, if you're offside, it will normally come back to scratch. Like normally, wow, NQ's dumping at the minute. Normally, it's not happened in weeks where my entries are that bad that it goes that far against me, to be honest. Normally I get out to scratch or something. Like I've not taken like a 4 or 5 tick loss now in 5 weeks, to be honest. But we are in summertime and it is treasuries, so you need to be really offside in the 10 year to be offside 5 ticks. So, or 4. I like your style, Rob. Yeah, so the lowest I'll watch, Alessandro, is the 5s. Uh, so I don't watch TN or anything. I watched 5s, 10s, 30s, and Ultra. On a rare occasion, if I'm feeling a bit frisky, um, I'll maybe do a catch-up trade on the Ultra, but seriously, I maybe do that, like that's one trade, and you know, maybe do that once every 2 or 3 weeks or something when it appears. And what I mean by that is, you know, 10, 5, 10s and 30s are cracking the highs, but Ultra is not. So I'll maybe try and hit it. See they're cracking the highs, I'll try and lift into the offer, you know, and take it into at least parity, to be honest, because the curve is extremely correlated. It's as correlated as ES and NQ. Now, one of the things that is going to happen, of course, is you're going to have spread traders. You know, you're going to have people spreading, so that's typically why the delta gets thrown off a bit on treasuries. Wax, if you go into the description of this video, there's an order flow playlist. Start there. We cover everything in there. How to read the DOM, what mindset you need, who the competitors are, what markets you should be trading, how to draw key support and resistance, with order flow in mind. Like there's a shit ton in there. You know, what is delta, journaling. You know, I think we've now put together a pretty comprehensive pack. You know, it's like a welcome pack to order flow. You know, I've put a lot of hours into that. Staffs, how's it going, dude? Hello, nice of you to join us. You seem to be a new face. So Wax, I'd recommend starting there. It's in the description of this video, and then comment on any of the videos that you watch if you've got any questions. The reason why I say to comment there is it keeps it more structured, and I can then almost reference back specific points that you're watching. So it just gets a little bit more structured and organized. But yeah, that's a good question, Rob. Is I mean, if you're trading the Bund, are you trading are you trading the short and long end on Eurex, or what are you doing? And are you in the same side of things where if you're up 3, you're taking 1, right? I know you said actually sometimes you'll take a trade in pre-market and you'll potentially hold it for the session. Oh wow, nicely done. Yeah, UB's a little bit. I like the 30-year at the moment because it's thicker. Thicker than it was a couple of years ago, anyway. The bucks on pounds, okay. Nice. All the same idea. There's one market I've never looked at, it's the gilts. UK's version. UB certainly moves quicker, that's for sure. It's like the NQ of Treasuries. Here we go, we are lifting. We had some lift off. Right, so this is the previous day high. Let's just mark that out in case we do get there for this session. Okay, there would be our 2 sweet points. Stops just get triggered there. Let's see if we're going to bang it. Wow. Yeah, exactly, Maku. Rob, so the length of this is a monthly. And we have it there just really to spot the monthly higher volume nodes and lower volume nodes. And that's really the reasoning, dude. And then of course we have each day's regular trading hours and evening session here. I like to try and gauge where everything is, trying to condense it on, where the price action is for the day, where's the most money been spent today, and what's it looking like over the last month. Just so you've got an idea. And technically we are out of value right now for the last month, which is to be expected though. We have been extremely bid. Alessandro, were you asking that? Do you trade any treasuries, or are we just curious? Actually, the 10s today, Rob, was lagging behind. The 30s and UB were essentially probing above VWAP, and the 10s was lagging. The 5s was extremely low as well. It was almost at the low of day. Yes. Oh, am I the same approach on bonds, TPO? No. No, so let me go to bonds quickly and I'll show you the TPO I have for that. It's completely different. This is the TPO I have here. It's kind of the same, but not really. I don't really pay as much attention to the session times per se. I know the first, the volume's done at like in the first hour and a half, 2 hours of the session, but I don't really pay that much attention. I know the NFP spikes, so the NFP spike was here, and then it was here as well in this week, and then this, what you're seeing, this is last week's profile, this is last week's, the week before, so on and so forth. And this is Monday, this is the current day, so this is where we ended last week, essentially from that, the data that came out, and then CPI came out, right? We just went extremely bid, and then PPI came out, and the market offered a good opportunity where it pulled back and just went bid, because the market's not giving a shit about that data, right? So they just shrugged that off, and it gave you an opportunity to go bid. Hey dude, if you join the Discord, sure thing. Nice, Alessandro. Not that I'm, on a Treasury crusade or anything, but for order flow, it's definitely easier. Yeah, so I note the settlement price on the two markets that I execute in, so the 10s and the 30-year, and I have some stats drawn around, what happens if we break the previous day low or high. What's the volume like on Monday, Tuesday versus Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. These types of stats. So I always mark in my chart what the settlement price was. As you can see from here, I should have so I have yesterday's value area low, yesterday's value area high, previous day open in there. So that's pretty much it. And I have an extended profile on here as well, just so I don't need to refer back to other charts. Because typically what I'll do is typically what I'll do is I'll look at key levels for that day. So I'll mark previous day close. I'll mark some areas of interest on the DOM, and then I'll maybe check to see how delta's been forming like every couple hours. But that's it. That's pretty much it. Let's jump back to that before I bore people. But yeah, I tried to keep everything as condensed as that as possible so that it's in my main peripheral, so I don't have to look up and change screens or go to a different monitor or whatever. But yeah, the sentiment's fairly straightforward at the moment, right? Until the market says otherwise and the sentiment changes or data comes out, I'm going to be buying bonds and notes. Okay, we're approaching first swing point. Let's see how this looks. Okay, we have some orders up here that's not the typical or go style go. It's just been here for the last 3 weeks now. It doesn't seem to be going away. Okay, let's see if we get some action. So the plan of attack is to come up here, sweep this level. We want to see them bang it quite aggressively. And then we want to see how it reacts. I'm hoping they don't just pull it right back. I want to see them take the high of session and then try and revert back down to, you know, 3/4 sort of area back into value for the session. Alessandro, no problem, dude. Thanks for stopping by, my friend. Much appreciated, buddy. Yeah, but seeing as it's a 1K AMA, let me know if you got any other questions. Wow, look at the amount of orders that have just popped there. They just broke down the spoof algo. Okay. Okay, got a surprise there. This algorithm has really been killing my jam on ES recently. See how the market reacts to 13.5 at this 400 if it's at least real. So we've got a 400 and a 67 at 14s. Then we've got some orders up here at like 16s, 17s. We're also seeing the Russell probing high of day now. Dow's not too far behind. You can see how much they're absorbing on the bid there. 454 still absorbed at the bid and the high. If NQ pulls back down here, we should maybe see a slight pullback. Yep, NQ's trying. So how did everyone's session actually go today? I've not asked you guys that. Did you guys trade today at all? Did you take any positions? Relatively shocking. I mean, I can imagine the amount of people that get chopped up today, to be honest, trading this. Small scalps. Small scalps, made a few buckaroos. No trading for you, Neil. Thanks, Trader Boy. Very nice. Right, so I think I'm expecting them to hit it above the highs. Typically, they don't just go and bang it straight away like this. You know, we see a slight pullback, and let's see if they can lift it in. The one thing as well is the fact they absorbed like 300 contracts, I think at 12s. So now, these dudes that were short here thinking it's a pullback, they're going to have to start covering up here. So now that when it gets here, let's see how much they can, you know, they don't need to spend that much. 300-400 contracts to when price gets to like 14s, and then they can bang it through. So here we go, let's see. Think you can give one little push up here and break 90s. Let's see if they can crack it. What scalps did you take, Roger? What G Trade ES did? Did you see how NQ reacts to this 88? So that 50, it's just been pulled there. Yes, nice. Nicely done, dude. So in general, I would not really be looking to short this until it sweeps, to be honest. The fact it goes just before it, sadly that would be a no bueno for me. Slight absorption, you know, but nothing major. We're essentially just pulling back a few ticks because NQ's taking a breather. We need NQ to get up to like 87s, 86s. As soon as NQ's dropping here, yes, it's probably just going to stable around. Trader boy, what positions did you take today? Were you a buyer or a seller? NQ is such a wild beast. When people say, you know, trading is fast money, it's certainly not, but they must be talking about NQ. Because if you can be proficient at trading NQ, my gosh, it's equivalent to the DAX. It's wild. Two shorts. Nice, dude. First couple hours open, you're trading. Yeah, nice. Oh, trader boy, that's glorious stuff, dude. Nicely done. Especially when you close back below IB, you know you're in for balance, right? If the market would have went below, if we would have got a sweep of the initial balance low after closing back below initial balance high, would have been nice. Maku, what do you trade? Do you trade fixed income stuff? Neil, say it how it is, dude. Yeah, I don't want to say that, but you know, Neil's just saying it how it is. Nah, I'm only kidding. NQ is NQ. You can NQ is not a scalpable thing, right? NQ, if you take a bigger, if you got levels drawn out and you do your pre-market like anything else, NQ is not something that you can scalp. Well, I suppose you can, but you need to compress the ticks as well, because if you're looking at it from one tick, it'll give you heart palpitations. You know, I mean, look at the spread. The spread's wild on it. But NQ, if you're if you draw out your key levels. You know, you do it. You know, I suppose that can work, but definitely not a scalping style. Because if you blink, you're down 10 ticks. I mean, I just blinked there and it moved 6. No problem, knockout. No problem, dude. Maku, 30 year of the Ultra. Nice. My main is the 10s, so ZN and ZB on a rare occasion. I never trade the 5s. Something I have in my back pocket is if I think we're going somewhere in the 30 year and something drastic happens or I'm 3 ticks offside, on an absolute rare occasion I do have in my back pocket where I'll like almost cover. If I know we're expecting a balanced day and there's no volume to come in, I'll sometimes cover on Ultra, if that makes sense, and then just work around. I have that in my arsenal, but I never really have to deploy that, to be honest. But it's something I have done in the past once or twice. Yeah, exactly, Rob. Exactly. Should be is the issue. This algo is annoying me. This one up here, here is just constantly tracking price. But yeah, if you're used to trading, treasuries and then you come to NQ, it's a very hard product to trade, man. I must admit, I'm not loving the fact that it's consolidating at the highs and absorbing. It makes like when this happens, taking like a sweep off here, it would make me think, I'd want to maybe fade at 20s, to be honest. Up like this level. Just because I don't like it that it consolidates at the highs. It's just like it's absorbing more to punch through. JB, you're so right. See when so I don't know what it is, but literally 1 p.m. Well, I don't know if it's right on the dot. I timed it yesterday. The algorithm on the 10-year came on at 3 minutes past 1. That specific, because I was waiting for it, and it came on at 3 minutes past 1 US. And see when that algorithm turns on. Let me show you what I mean. This algorithm is like my time to quit for the day. Wait, I'll show you this. So see this algorithm here that turns on normally about 1 o'clock. When this turns on, I'm done for the day. I'm also kind of pissed off now that this has just went straight bid and I covered here. But that's the nature of scalping. I'm not going to look at that because it's going to cheese me off. So yeah, exactly. It's been a lot more prominent in the last 3-4 weeks, I would say, Rob, on ES anyway. Okay, we're seeing a little bit of absorption here. They're definitely going to bang it through here. Okay, so time to get our absorption hat on. Let's see. The fact that they've done all of this, I would want them to hit it a little bit more. So we do get a sweep there. Okay. Let's see if the business is conducted now for us to sweep a roo back in. Check the delta that's coming in, if it's going to be absorbed. You'd want to see NQ pull down a little bit, and as we hit in here, you want to see the bid pull. So note the 50s here and here to see if they're going to be pulled. The fact that Russell and the Dow are cracking highs as well. There's 100 lot there on the Russell. Let's see how the market behaves at that. Do you see that? Here. Let's see if they take that. Watch that 100 lot there at 80s on the Russell. Of course NQ goes first because it always does, but I wasn't paying attention. Did they take that? Did you guys clock that? Did you take? Well, you can't see it for the inside prints, but the one time I actually want to see the inside prints, honestly. Yeah, exactly, GB. I was thinking it showed up. Then it's not been as Rob's right though. There's been capping algorithms going on since COVID, but this one specifically has been here now for about 3 weeks or so, right? Look at the amount of liquidity that's up here. Now we know that this 200, this 1, 2, 2, and 2 is all fake, so this is fake. But these 400s are real. So let's see now if they're going to hit this into the bid and the bid be pulled. So let's see how that behaves. I would like to see the Dow and the Russell pull back as well before we work our way back down. Because as you guys know, the longer you consolidate at the highs like this, the more they can sort of punch it through. I would rather that. I should really get the pen out. Let me get the pen. I've not had that since last session. Crazy boy, how's it going? How's it going, dude? Okay, so NQ is going. Everything is pulling back ever so slightly. This is a good sign. Let's see how the bid, if the bid is going to be pulled. They are drilling in. Are absorbing ever so slightly. You want to see them continually hit. But what I'm saying here is we're really looking to fade. We're looking to fade back into here, right? It's a Tuesday, we're having a balanced day. We want to see the market fade back into the mean. But just something to consider is when you're sort of consolidating at these highs like this, right? Of course, they can just do this behavior and and punch it back in, back down. But I would much rather to see the market just goes up in the one swoop like this, and then come something like this, or we do something along these lines where we hit it in one in one swoop, then we sort of give a 5 minutes, and then we sort of work our way back down. That's the sort of preferred. I don't like to see consolidation at the highs because ultimately then they're just grabbing some more orders in order to lift through, and then the next target is going to be probably 20s here, because the fact they've absorbed some selling here, they want to try and bang it through to get some more. Was my sort of thoughts. Like this would not be a like fist pump setup for my fading outlook. Now if we do this where we go up to here, and then do something like this is slightly better. Yeah. Well, we'll see if they're just going to bang it down now. I mean, NQ's going now, so let's see. It's been quite a bit of absorption. Like 77s, there's like 500 delta, those 3 ticks in NQ, which is quite a lot. And we want to see all the markets pulling in here. I mean, this is the thing, is the objective is for price to get down here, right, back in the zone. But how aggressive do you want to be your entry? Do you want to take this one first? You could potentially take a stop, and then if we do get the same behavior up here, then you're looking to fade this back down here, probably with a better entry or something along those lines, right? But the objective, as we know, is doesn't make much sense for them to continually bang above here and continue smashing highs on a Tuesday with no data left in the calendar. So I compare the current day. I compare the current day, Rob, but not like it's not really that often that the previous month or previous week's value shifts. But I check it for reference points. Like if we're breaking out of last week's value, are we at an extreme from that? And then look to try and punch it in. It's like an extra confluence in there. But yeah, so say for example, POC's here right now, and we just chop around this area now for the next, I don't know, 20-30 minutes. We build out some distribution here, and then value then shifts. I'll take that into consideration, if that's what you're asking. This price action's shocking, by the way. So we did give a classic sweeparoos of the level. I was like, we're working our way down. I can go and wipe my ass with this area reaching here. Looks like they didn't need as much money. They took it and then the sweeparoo. Of course, we were at the 4th standard deviation band as well, which kind of helps the fade. What have I just done? Wow. Oh, look at this. Can you guys see this? I can create a blackboard and stuff. Look at that. That's quite cool. Also, something I'm not really buying here as well. I'm not really buying that no selling come in there, so they just pulled the bid. So they pulled the bid to get down here. There's not really been any real aggressive action on into the bid to get down here. So, which you can see, they went through this price with 6. Yeah, exactly. Do you guys prefer the white or blackboard? You know, God, that puts me back to the days. They don't do blackboards anymore, do they? Look at this. God, I need to stop it. We might need to get out the house more, Rob. The drawing software is called Epic Pen. I actually forgot I had this, and I must have had this now for many months. And it's one of it's not, as you can imagine. I don't think it's very much money. I think it's like, I can't even remember if I bought it. I've got no idea, but I'm paying for it somehow, to be honest. I can't remember if it's a lifetime license or something. It's not expensive. It's like 40 quid or something. But quite a cool little piece of kit, to be honest. I need to faff around with it very more. I'm not really one for reading instructions. Normally, I just like to break things. You know, there's like a timer here, so if I draw something, it disappears itself like that, which is a bit quick. Which is probably quite handy actually. I don't need to clear it all the time, like that. So it's called Epic Pen, Neil. Exactly, Trader Boy. I should have been I don't know, an artist or something. Yeah, Declan, I've just been faffing with a few of the things. I mean, I think this is, oh, you can do the arrows, which is quite cool. Like this is quite a nice feature. And the blackboard thing's quite nice as well. One of the things I would say is a little bit annoying with it, if I'm honest, is I have to like, you can highlight the cursor, that's quite handy. But if I want to scroll, like I use the scroll wheel to squash and expand the charts, but then it changes the thickness of what you're using. I mean, this is pretty much Braille at this point, right? Can anyone see the cursor? Right. This is looking kind of strange, to be honest. Uh, right. Let me get. This is crazy. Gosh, make up its mind, DS. Come on, can we just? We are 48 minutes away from the volume coming in. Yes, Ale is good. Does anyone ever trade the Russell? I don't think I've really met anyone that trades the Russell, to be honest. Do you guys ever trade in the Dow or the Russell? It kind of surprises me how the Dow is so thin, considering it's only got like 30 stocks or something in it, right? Doesn't make any sense. Because it's actually got the possibility to be a really good market to trade, but it's shit. Yeah, I mean the one what doesn't make any sense to me is the Russell is got a thicker book than the Dow. I don't understand why. But then again, ES is 100 at each price, so. Oh really? TV. Like, do you mean there's just loads of absorption that happens on it a lot of the time? They do seem to be pulling back a little bit more, but then there's no real delta coming in. Oh, is it? I didn't know that. To be honest, I don't think I've ever even looked at delta on the Russell. To be honest, it's just not something I've ever really thought to look at. But that's interesting. You guys say that. What about the Dow? The Dow confuses me as to why it's so thin. It's not, the ticks are not compressed either. Considering for that being such a high quality stocks that are in there, you'd think it would be so much thicker. Yeah, that's the thing. See if YM was much thicker again, it would be interesting because it shouldn't be moving a lot, you know, over days. Should be extremely. It should be a really thick book on that. I don't understand why it's like 20 deep. US equities are down the drain, in my opinion. It's a shame. I mean, look at this price action on ES at the highs. I mean, with flat at the highs as well. Seriously. Where's Master Scalper Reason to tell us the order flow? Not the order flow. It's far from that. That tilt thing with. I would like to know where Top Step's net long and net short position is today. Would be interesting. They're probably going to be buying the heck out of this right now. You'd think. There's just not enough action here, you know. It's basically flat in terms of size coming in. So NQ is now back down at the POC at 70s. NQ's really trying, isn't it, to continue on. %61 long ES, average 689. So long from down here, so they've actually had a good day then. So long from down here, that's quite a good day for them then. Nice. I mean, they really only buy trends, don't they? This price action sucks. Nice, you checked that, have you, boy? Still not really buying this move down just yet. I'd want to see some size come in. The market's just moving by the bid being pulled. You'd like to see some conviction coming in, hitting into the bid, which is not really happening. Have you guys taken any of these positions, or are you more just observing where the market's at? I'd definitely be careful, especially with like 30 minutes until the volume comes in. Need more action. Yeah. I mean, we did get a sweep of the level, and I suppose we have got pullback, but it's just been shit, to be honest. Like if it was me and I was in a short position right now, I would be just closing this. It should have already went. And there's no real conviction from sellers either. Because they could have really punched that there if they wanted to, but they didn't. Do you know what I mean? Like, they could have really hit that down, and everyone that bought here had to liquidate, but they they didn't. There was no aggressive selling coming in. You want to see some size come in, and to move with a little bit of oomph. Jay, how's it going? Yeah, GB, that's the thing. I think it's looks to me like we're going to be going slightly higher here right now, to be honest. I mean, the buying now, if we do get it one way, if we do get some aggressive delta coming in and they do absorb, then that's fair enough. And I think when they plant this 100 lot here, they're actually waiting on the offer to get filled, to be honest. Normally when they do this, when price comes back down to revisit it, they just pull it. So that would be a nice tactic if you're actually looking to get more fills in the offer rather than on the bid. Because if people see that, they're going to buy. There we go, disappeared. If it was me, I would do that if I wanted to get filled in the offer. I would flash here, let people buy into me because they've got false pretenses that they think there's some size behind them. Then I get to absorb some more. And then when I'm done absorbing, I'm then going to start hitting into the bid and then potentially pull the bid. Let's see if that plays true. Oh, it's about 10 points higher, isn't it? Nice. Okay, so they actually trade through that. Okay, let's see if NQ can work its way down. Tails gobbled it up as well, nice. Okay, so that if they do hit this here, there should be some stops triggered just right here, which is 0975. Let's see if we can get a little mini oomph through this level. People that bought here, they're going to be under pressure below this level. Certainly some two-way you get on right here. This ES price action at the moment is in line with Treasuries. It's slow. So we'll see. Is anyone got any ideas? Put a 1 if you think we're going to go higher before returning, or just put a 1 in general if you think we're going higher right now, or 2 if you think we're going lower right now. You know, in the next 10-15 minutes. So 1 for higher, 2 for lower. Go lower. Yeah, I was thinking. I mean, to be honest, I would be really surprised. Oh, I would be really surprised if we finished the day like up. Oh, let me get my pen. So I'd be really surprised if we finished the day up here, right? This seems relatively unlikely, considering it's a Tuesday and we are in relative balance. I just would rather it did this a bit quicker down here, but it's not. So the fact that this has not went down already down here is slightly concerning. It's like they want to probe it, and if they have gathered up enough size in this level, right, say around about here, um, uh, you would definitely want to just bang it above this into here, right? Like if you've done this, what's an extra, 10 ticks into here? That would be my thinking anyway. Okay, so let's see how they do it. Want to see them punch it through here. We don't want to just see some more faffing defending of this range back into here. Before this data comes out, we want to see a little bit of movement. Zero equals stable we are. Yeah, exactly. EV, which I think looks to be quite likely. Do you guys see how they're moving price though? There's not really any real conviction. Again, we're just pulling bids and pulling offers to drop price around. Jeez, oh, this has been here now for 5, 10, 30 minutes here. Jeez, oh. I don't know. See if you see this price action at highs. Just don't trade. Seriously. It can go either way. This is the last thing you want to be seeing at high, to be honest. Still think we go down to down here, but I just don't like how we're faffing around here for like 40 minutes, 50 minutes now or something. Looks like the market's definitely waiting for the market on close data to come out to get out their positions, and then look how pitiful the delta is. We're at like 8-9k today. Yeah, exactly. There's a gradual increase here in delta at the minute. And I think, to be honest, if the market was to go down, their opportunity was when it was down here, but it didn't. Because they could have really put buyers here under pressure, so obviously there's not been enough, and these long positions have not been liquidated, otherwise that would have just went down. So we'll see. There has been a lot of absorption at 14s. Yeah, exactly, tradable. I think that would be nice if we can do that with a little bit of size, and then sweep back into the mean. Yeah, so you're basically, in order for price to go up, you want to see a sweep down first, and then, yeah. Okay, Delta, if this continues to push up at this and we don't crack, then again, where our line is at 9 3/4, they are being absorbed. But not much, like a couple of K. Right, there we go. There's shit tons of absorption here. Now they should punch it and take the high. Yeah. Do it with some conviction, please. Now let's see if they go for it. Yeah, Maka, that's what I was thinking, to be honest, dude. Previous day high, what's the exact level on that? 18 3/4. Here. They've done quite a lot of absorption up here, though, to be honest. The amount of delta that's just come in. And NQ is not at highs or anywhere near it, but ES is. Sorry, yeah. Yeah, exactly. I thought I said it the other way around there. We'll see what they do here. I would say though, now that we have, this has been the sweep, but I mean, from here to here, 7, May, just approaching 4K delta, 4K. There has been quite a lot of absorption on the offer at these prices. We need everything to pull back, and then we'll see. I've swept the high session. Okay, no, let's see if they're going to pull this bid or not. Holding there, they've just stepped up and carried that out. Well, they took that whole amount there. Okay, sellers are starting to step in a little bit here. No problem, Rob. Nice of you to stop by, my friend. Thanks as always, dude. Yes, so they're watching paint dry. It's like Treasury's 2.0 at the moment. It always is at this time, dude. That's why I finish at like lunchtime, typically. Lunchtime, 1 p.m. New York time, I tend to finish. After that, it's garbage on Treasuries. You've kind of got like a 4-hour window on Treasuries, to be honest. You've got from like 8:30 till probably 12. Sometimes if there's a bond auction it comes out, but to be honest with you, the bond auctions have been shit as of late. It's not even worth it. And as soon as the bond auction is done, that algo that I was discussing turns on, especially in the tens, and then we don't really do too much. Which is actually quite good though, Maku, because I kind of like those shorter hours. Okay, we've seen some size come in there, I think, into the bid. I'll maybe trade like 7:30 because I've noticed recently that the volume tends to pick up ever so slightly at that time, but any time before 7:30 it's pretty much a no-go. It's not really any follow through. Surprisingly though, we had a nice continuation today, but that's red herring stuff. Okay, let's see if we can get a sweeperoo of 18 3/4 before we reverse back. 10 minutes till the volume comes in. My gosh though, what shocking action. ES Tuesday PM sessions. Monday and Tuesday are low volume across the board, right? It's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It tends to be relatively linear for the volume increase in those days. Just post the coffee in here for any of you peeps that would want to support the channel. We've got two medians now. If you want to do it via YouTube or via coffee, I think probably coffee's preferred, to be honest. I don't think they take as big a cut. Okay, so 8 minutes to the volume actually comes in and we can see if anything exciting happens. I don't think we're going to potentially dump before then, but we'll see how quickly they can bang it. Okay, so they're starting a little bit of selling coming in. Let's see how they can do it. Would be quite disappointing. Normally if they try and hit it before the burst of volume comes in, and it makes the volume burst not as exciting, typically. Okay, so up here with 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. Yeah, just over an hour here. It's crazy. An hour, and we have been in a total from high to low 24 ticks. So we'll see here if they can do it. The fact that they've been here for so long, they're definitely going to push it one way or the other, right? It's not normally as bad as this action. But summer months and low VIX, it's the way the cookie crumbles. Let's put this in the composite profile to have a look and see. Yeah, there's quite a ways we can go down here, to be honest. We seem to be doing it right now. Okay, let's see them try and break through here. I've seen a little bit of negative delta come in. Or are we just going to pull the offer now and go back into the range? Yes. Someone needs to get a big stick and poke ES. Do something. It's like a market making dream, this type of action. It's like what they live for. Taking it to the highs of the range by a literal tick or so and then putting it back into the mean. It's crazy. Yeah, it feels a bit like it, doesn't it? Considering we've just consolidated at the highs so much here, it's a little bit concerning. I mean, this is the last type of action you want to be seeing if you're fading. Just an hour consolidation at the high of day. Not ideal. So swept it right back into the range again. Shocker. I think you could be right, Neil. We'll see what happens. There's a bit of delta coming in though. Sell side. Not massive, but the first decent chunk we've seen. 10 seconds. Okay, let's see if they punch it. Okay, let's see if they fill out up at the highs here. Right, let's see them run to 19. Yeah, spot on, Neil. Spot on, dude. You're getting efficient with it. Just absorbed 319 there at 15 3/4 on the bid. Okay, let's see them run 19s and then see the action that comes in. So we see absorption happening there. Right, punch it. There we go, there's a stop run. Okay. Now let's see how they react. Let's see how the bid reacts. We've still got quite a while left. We've still got the 4 o'clock to come out. But notice how the bid is now just going to be pulled. Let's check. Did you guys catch that though? How they hit it extremely quickly to get filled in their orders at the highs there? Right, you want to see sellers continually press in now. Still absorbing in the bid at the moment. We need to see them turn off. 304 absorbed there. This is more like it. A little bit of action. Still working both ways. Let's check the absorption that's going to happen here. Okay, we've now just hit above the high day. Previous high day, sorry. Still got quite a while of this yet, right? Still another 6 minutes till this data comes out, or to at least the algo time happens. That's typically when they're probably going to bang it right down, aren't they? If they are to, anyways. But it's gave the behaviour of what you're wanting though. Sweep of previous day high. They're still buying the shit out of it right now. Watch for the bid being pulled if we can. NQs, look at NQ bounce around, it's madness. Yeah, exactly, that's what I'm thinking, Maku here. But I don't think they're going to do that. It looks like they're going to dance around here for like probably 5 minutes. Potentially, but sometimes if they do it before, if they reverse it now in the next 5, then when the algo time comes out for the 2 minutes after it, they just do that to close orders. But sometimes they can use the full 2 or 3 minutes or so at 4 o'clock. No, a lot of this goes out the window when you have an hour where you're consolidating at the highs. To be honest with you. Because they're now just grinding through. Right, now would be a time to dump. That would be great. So you want to see if the bid. So we've got probably 4 minutes till this comes in. If this bid can dissipate, this should drop like a rock. Yeah, it makes sense. But Neil was spot on with the bids at the start for sure. Three minutes. Are you guys trading this at all? Or are you just observing? I would say be careful if you are. Okay, so 2 minutes for this to come out. Let's see if we can get our way back down here. Or are we going to go to the absolute moon? Or down here. Let me turn off this timer. One time I actually don't want the timer. The most probable is to work our way down here, considering it's a balanced day and sort of finish in this range down here. That would be nice to see. So we have a minute. We're at a level at 950 and a TP at 23s. Oh, you... Oh, you're really close then if you take it here, dude. Look at the amount of buying that's coming in. If sellers don't start taking control here, this thing is going. But as soon as they start and the bid gets pulled, it's going to go like now. See if they continually hit it. Look at the amount of absorption there. Wow. Looks like they're doing it now. It's probably known your times that the volumes comes in, how crucial that is. Alright, now let's see if we can go down with the initial spike and come in. See how we're going to do it. I think our target back down to 04s is a little bit optimistic. A little bit lackluster, wasn't it? Do you see, were you buying at 9s? See if they even go to test 08s. Yeah, see if we can work our way down there. If it is to, it should be hitting it more aggressive than what it is. You know, like they're still absorbing on the bid at the moment. Normally, for price to absolutely capitulate there, the bid needs to be pulled. It's not being pulled. I mean, there's still more selling coming in, which is why we're going down. But it needs to be two-way. You need to have the bid being pulled at the same time. So you were saying 08s, right? So just basically start of M periods. Well, the low of M period roughly, sorry. No problem, Neil. No problem, dude. Yeah, if it doesn't move in the next minute, I think that's pretty much all she wrote. Wow, shocking price action for the last hour and a half. We didn't even get a sweep down. We did nothing. Just finished in that micro range there. Well, not micro range, 20 tick range or so. Very lackluster. Tuesday summer feels. Okie dokie everyone, let me know if you've got any last questions before we look to wrap it up. Nice trader boy, good that you caught some of it, dude. Nicely done. Yeah, he didn't get as an aggressive a move as expected, but we still got at least some pullback. Just a bit, definitely lackluster. No problem, Aku. Hopefully you continue to stop by, dude. Hope everyone has a great evening. I appreciate everyone stopping by, and thanks everyone for the 1k subs, it's much appreciated. Thanks to everyone that continually supports the channel. No problem, Declan. Thanks very much, dude. Hey, Tom. Glad you enjoyed it, my friend. Okay, you guys take care. Have a good evening, and we'll catch up tomorrow. Peace, everyone.